William Jones was born in London in the year 1746. The son of a man who gave the world its most mysterious number, pi. A symbol carved into the foundations of geometry, a whisper of infinity. His father, the mathematician William Jones, dined with Newton and Halley. He measured the stars, but not the span of his own days. His son would grow not in his shadow, but among his books. The house grew quieter after his father's death, but the books remained, and the boy, barely old enough to grieve, found in their pages a new kind of voice. While other boys recited Latin by rote, William heard something deeper, a cadence, a structure, a spirit. He was born into modest means but extraordinary legacy.
Read, and you will know.
And he did. By the age of 15, he had mastered 5 languages: Greek, Latin, Hebrew, Arabic, Persian. Each one opened a door to another civilization, and he walked through every one of them. At Harrow, he translated Ovid into English verse, composed pastoral poems critiquing Virgil and Theocritus, wrote odes in the style of Horace at 14. His teachers called him a prodigy. His classmates simply watched him drift, always slightly apart, into other worlds. At Oxford, he didn't just study, he absorbed. French, German, Spanish, Italian, Portuguese, he learned them all. Then came Hebrew. Soon he hired a tutor from Aleppo to refine his Arabic pronunciation. By 21, he was exchanging letters with Orientalists across Europe, Count Ravitsky, Schultens, Reverend. They spoke to him in Latin, he wrote back in verse. He published his first book in French, a history of Nadir Shah, commissioned by the King of Denmark. Then came a Persian grammar in English, then a Latin treatise on Arabic and Turkish poetry. By 25, he was elected Fellow of the Royal Society. He dined with Johnson, debated with Burke, walked the halls with Gibbon. And yet, he knew something was missing. The languages he longed to understand weren't echoing in London. They were thousands of miles away, whispering through temples, scrolls, and sands. And so, in 1783, William Jones set his sights east, toward the one place where empire and intellect might meet: India. In 1783, William Jones received the appointment that would change everything. Queen Judge of the Supreme Court of Judicature at Fort William in Bengal. It was the highest court in Calcutta. And the role came with royal recognition. That spring, he was knighted by King George III. In April, he married Anna Maria Shipley, the eldest daughter of the Bishop of St. Asaph. She was bright, fiercely articulate, and believed deeply in his mission. Newlywed, newly knighted, Jones boarded the frigate Crocodile with his wife at his side, and his mind burning with questions no courtroom could answer. He pored over Persian translations of Indian epics, studied Islamic jurisprudence, and made notes, obsessive notes, on the languages he would soon learn from the source. In September 1783, after 5 months at sea, the Crocodile dropped anchor in Calcutta. He was 37 years old and about to begin the chapter that would define his name. To some, India was overwhelming. To Jones, it was music. He would write years later that India was a mirror held up to time, a place where history lived not in ruins, but in rhythm, in law, in the very structure of speech. Sir William Jones arrived in Calcutta with a judge's authority and a scholar's hunger. The cases were complex, the languages layered, the law ancient, sacred, and often mistranslated. He realized that British justice, without Indian jurisprudence, was blindness. And so, at 37, he began again. He studied Sanskrit, consulted Hindu pundits and Islamic jurists. He translated the Manusmriti and studied the stars with Bengali astronomers. But knowledge lived everywhere and nowhere. Scrolls were scattered, ideas remained unpublished. The British scholars in Calcutta worked in silos. Jones saw it for what it was, a failure of imagination. There was no institution, no forum, no home for the study of Asia on Asian soil. With characteristic resolve, he acted.
Sir, it would be fitting if you, the Governor-General, served as our first president.
The honor belongs to you, Sir William. This is your vision. You must lead it.
On 15 January 1784, in the Grand Jury Room of the Supreme Court, William Jones convened a meeting of 30 curious minds. It included linguists, administrators, naturalists, doctors, poets, all united by wonder.
The Asiatic Society was born for inquiring into the history, arts, and sciences of Asia. Its scope: whatever is performed by man or produced by nature in all of Asia. Asia, the nurse of science, fertile in genius, abounding in natural wonders, and infinitely diversified in language.
Under his leadership, the society became a beacon, a bridge, a rampart against decay that ignorance desired. For the first time, Eastern and Western minds met not in battle, but in shared inquiry. It was a turning point, not only for William Jones, but for the story of ideas itself. Settled in Calcutta, Sir William Jones did something unimaginable. In 11 short years, he created a body of work that most men would not complete in a lifetime. He presided over trials, translated laws, composed poems, delivered 10 sweeping lectures, one every year, to the Asiatic Society.
The Sanskrit language is of a wonderful structure, more perfect than the Greek, more copious than the Latin, and more exquisitely refined than either.
With those words spoken on a warm February evening in Calcutta, William Jones changed the course of human knowledge. Comparative linguistics was born, and with it, the idea that Europe and India were not strangers, but siblings. That the ancient voices of Homer and Kalidasa once spoke from the same fire. But language was only part of his vision. In those years, he translated Kalidasa's Shakuntala, a Sanskrit play so beautiful it moved Goethe to tears. He rendered the Manusmriti into English, allowing British courts to consult Indian jurisprudence directly. He translated Islamic legal texts, worked with Hindu pundits and Muslim Maulvis, and even supervised a digest of Indian law to serve the colonial courts. His pen touched everything: botany, zoology, astronomy, music. One day he might lecture on Persian poetry, the next classify Asiatic plants. He saw no boundary between disciplines, only connections. In all this, he remained what he had always been, a poet. He translated Indian hymns into English verse, wrote odes to Hindu deities, and composed poems that shimmered with moonlight, riverbanks, and whispered names of vanished gods. He wrote not only to explain India, but to feel it. By 1794, William Jones had been in India 11 years. He had mastered 28 languages, delivered 10 annual discourses, translated epics, laws, poems, and still, his mind was restless. That spring, he gave his final address to the Asiatic Society. He died just weeks later, April the 27th, 1794. Liver inflammation, the doctors said. He was 47. He was buried in Calcutta, in the city he had come to call home. He left behind more than manuscripts. He left a bridge between East and West, between Sanskrit and Latin, between jurisprudence and poetry, between the roar of empire and the hush of understanding.
I am in love with this land, not merely with its nature, but with its mind, its soul, poetry, its laws.